Hey guys, today we want to show you how to use Recipe Box for meal planning. There's a couple different ways you can do it, and there's some time-saving tricks that we want to show you. So watch the tutorial and let us know if you have any questions. You can always email me at cris@recipes@crock.com. I'll see you after the tutorial. Okay guys, now that we have gone over some Recipe Box basics, let's start talking a little bit about how we could use this to do some meal planning. So if you just come to the website, recipes@crock.com, click on your Recipe Box. It will take you immediately to your collections if you're signed in. If you aren't signed in, you can click sign in and it will give the opportunity to enter your password and username. This is the biggest tip. If something with Recipe Box isn't where it's supposed to be, always make sure you're signed in. So we're going to click sign in, and then it'll take you back and you'll be with your collections. You can see I've wiped everything clean again so that we can do some fun things. So real quickly, I'm going to go and add a few recipes to my Recipe Box. I'm going to go and add Aunt Lou's Good Gravy Beef and Noodles. And so again, the easy way to do that is just to jump to the recipe and add it to my Recipe Box. And so then I might add a couple more things really quickly. Let's add some side dishes. Let's go to the home page and scroll down to some side dishes down here. There we go. Oh, this one's always a good one. Cabbage, green beans. And go to the jump to recipe button and add it to my Recipe Box. And how about we add a dessert as well, really quickly, just so we have a few things to play with from our saved recipes. So I'm going to scroll down to desserts, and I'm going to add that low carb strawberry shortcake that we love. All right, and I'm going to add it to my Recipe Box. Okay, so now let's go to the Recipe Box. And you'll see I have 3 recipes in my saved recipes. But let's say we want to meal plan. So let's go to Edit Collections, and we're going to add a collection called This Week's Meal Plan. Okay, you stop editing and then you click This Week's Meal Plan so we can go inside there. And so right now we have a choice. There are 2 different ways that you can organize your recipes for meal plan. And one of them is to make different columns for each day, and the other is to make a group within the single column. So I'll show you the group first because it all is really condensed. So if you're just looking, some people meal plan and they just meal plan dinners. They don't do breakfast, lunch, or they don't have special things that they need to do. So a single column works for them. So if that's you, then I would just go in and edit groups and add your Monday, click add group each time to add a new day. Tuesday, add group. Wednesday, and so on and so forth. So we can go on, add group, Friday, and maybe you don't want Saturday and Sunday, you just want weekend on there. Or you could do Saturday and Sunday. It's completely up to you, but just remember when you're done putting whatever you want there, you click stop editing, and then you've got all these areas. And how you can pop your recipes in is click actions, and then you go to add items, and it defaults to your saved recipes. So those beef and noodles, we can drag those to Monday. We can say we're going to make that strawberry shortcake on the weekend. Oop, maybe we can. It's not wanting to go there. There we go. And then we can say, okay, I don't know what my main is yet, but on Wednesday, I want that crock pot cabbage, green beans, and tomatoes. So now all we need to do is figure out, okay, what else do we want? And that's very easy. Even if it's not in your collections, you can easily search recipes by clicking search recipes and then typing in search. So let's search for that popular Mississippi chicken that we love. So we type in Mississippi chicken, and it gives us both electric pressure cooker and crock pot versions. Let's type in crock pot and see if it won't weed out. Yep, it'll give us just the crock pot versions. Scrolling down, well, it prefers the crock pot versions. I'm still, oh, there's my Mississippi chicken thighs. I'm going to put that with the cabbage and green beans and tomatoes for the day. So there's that. But let's say there's something that you can't, that isn't on recipes that Crock, that you would like to use this for meal planning. You can go back to where it says search recipes and open that menu. You can add a custom recipe, or you can add a note. So let's say that on the day that we're doing crock pot, good gravy, and beef noodles, I want to add a note, and I want that note to say side salad to go with the beef and noodles. You can even color these so you can know, it can indicate anything to you. So like I could make it green so I know that I need to pick up some side salad, for example, to make it work. So I'm going to put a side salad there, and then once I have added it, as I've added a note, I can add side salads to different days of the week. So there you go. Or you can also add a custom recipe, and it's going to let you add the name and the ingredients that you would need, so that whenever you generate your shopping list, it will generate those ingredients. So let's say we have guacamole on the site, but let's say we didn't, and so we could put guacamole in here. And so we could say we need 2 avocados. And we're going to need 2 limes. And we already have the other ingredients, but I'm going to label that green because I want it added to my shopping list later on. So there we go. So we're going to put guacamole. We'll have guacamole on Tuesday. Then I can just go back in and say, okay, I'm going to search recipes again because I need something to go with this yummy guacamole we're going to make. And so let's look up some tacos. These instant pot steak tacos will be perfect. So we will pop them on that day. You might be wondering what these numbers are. These numbers are the amount of servings that the original recipe is set to. Servings are very personal, so some people might take a bigger portion than what we originally have set on the website. This number, if you increase it or decrease it, will increase or decrease the amount of ingredients that a recipe calls for. It will not change instructions about how to use the crock pot, cooking times, or the size of slow cooker or instant pot, which is something that will change if you increase or decrease, but there's just no way to automatically change that in our system. So just know that this servings component affects the automatic nutrition calculator, and it affects the shopping list ingredient component. Another thing to watch out for is anything that calls for a packet or a soup or something like that. It will add the ounces for you to get additional ounces, where if I were to decrease this to, let's say 6 servings, if I were normally cooking in my kitchen, I would still use the same amount of packets or soup or canned or whatever. I would just use less protein. So that's just something to keep an eye out for. It is handy, particularly when you're trying to increase something. But when you're trying to decrease something, it's just something to keep in mind that it might ask you for a half a packet or something like that. But anyhow, it's in there for you to use if that is of use for you. So this is just a quick and easy way to build a recipe or a meal plan. So let's say you get all of that and we're done. Then you have this shopping list option. And when you click shopping list, it's going to again tell you how many people each of your recipes are set for. It's also going to, and what you have planned. So up here is all the recipes that you're planning to make this week according to what you set up. And then it generates a shopping list. And this shopping list is printable. It also is super handy for you to be able to say, you know what, we already have tomatoes, and you can check it on inside of Recipe Box. So when your list prints or when you have it on your phone, it will tell you that you've already got that at home. So you can go through your pantry and check off all the things that you already have. Now, I'm trying to find yes, here's an example. We do have some glitches in the system that we're still working on ironing out. And so one of the things that might kind of bother you, at least it bothers me, is that some ingredients will be repeated. It'll say a lowercase butter and an uppercase butter. Well, that's because two different recipes called for half a cup of butter that we have picked. And one was written in with a capital B and one was written in with a lowercase b. And so we're working on trying to get all of those to be the same. But until we do, it will, instead of telling you need a full cup of butter, it will split them up. So just know it's not perfect. It's something that you need to just keep in mind whenever you're looking at your list. That isn't a duplicate ingredient. That is actually, you need a full cup there. So, and hopefully we'll get that fixed sooner than later so you won't even have to worry about it. But that is how you generate a shopping list. You can print your shopping list, you can print the collection, you can print both. So it won't print out the recipes as when you click print collection. What it will do is print this guidance list. But the cool thing is anytime inside of your recipe box, when you go to your collections, you're ready to make the Good Gravy Beefy noodles. All you have to do is click that and it pulls up the recipe. It doesn't take you back to the blog post. It takes you directly to the recipe so you can do your recipe from there. And you can always go back by clicking backwards to this week's meal plan and it'll take you back. So that's the easy way to make a groups for meal planning in Recipe Box. There is a more elaborate way to do it if you want to plan out even more of your meals. Let's do that now. I'm going to go ahead and delete off all of these groups. So I'm going to go to Edit Groups and I'm going to delete off all this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's going to ask me each time I delete it, just to make sure that I'm not doing something I don't want to do. And so what we're going to do instead of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is we are going to go up to edit columns. So we'll stop editing. We're going to edit columns, and in edit columns we're going to add a column for each day. So Monday, then we're going to add Tuesday, and this comes in handy for other reasons. Let's do Wednesday. Get them all added in here. Oop. And Sunday. Okay. So we have all of our columns. Now let's add groups within those columns. Oops, I added one extra one. Cancel. Oops. Delete. Okay. All right, so we're going to add groups. And to those groups, we're going to add breakfast, lunch, dinner, and let's say snacks and desserts. And what that has done, when you do that, it adds those categories, those groups to every day. So you can really begin to plan out things. So let's say, okay, so we need to click actions again. That's the tricky thing. Click actions and it'll take you to where you can start adding items. So let's go on and say on Sunday, we're going to add that strawberry shortcake as desserts. And let's say I want to add a note that we are going to go out to eat after church. And so we're going to, I'll just make that yellow, for example, because green means I need to buy something. Yellow means we're out. So I could put go out to eat on lunch that day, so I know that it is already covered, that I don't need to do anything that day. I could also go to search recipes and type in our freezer burritos for breakfast, because that's what we'll have for breakfast on the go that morning, and we will just put that in for the breakfast up there. And then let's see, for dinner that night, it came up with some suggestions here. I think that barbecue cola chicken sounds fantastic. And so we have that there. So that pretty much covers us for that day. If I don't want snacks for that day, I don't need to put them in there, and you don't even have to add that category. This is completely customizable to what you want to do. You could do this based off of each person in your family. If you would rather do, if someone has a special diet or something you need to remember, I could have this Mikey, Addie, and Cris on this list. And, you know, I could also make notes that like on, let's see, Wednesday, let's go on and add another note here. That I'm going to add a note that says Addie or karate. So we might grab a bite to eat out because she's got to get to karate. So I'm going to mark that yellow as well. Again, these numbers or the colors and all that kind of stuff is completely up to you. But then you just drag it up to Wednesday, and I'm going to put that on dinner just to kind of remind myself that we have karate, we're going to be out, so we either need to grab something or dinner needs to be early that day. And so that's just an example, and you can keep filling this with whatever you want. You don't always have to know specifically what recipe you're looking for. Like I could just type in ground beef, and let's see what comes up. There's all kinds of dishes here, and oh, this crock pot beefy pepper jack casserole, I know we love that, so I'm gonna put that on Monday for dinner. And you can just you click it and you drag it, and that's all you've got to do. And you can plan this out every day or every time you want to for your week. And so it's just an easy way to keep everything together. And then I go back to my collections, and so this week's meal plan has 6 recipes. Maybe I don't want to call, when it comes to next week, maybe I don't want to start calling them this week's meal plan. Maybe I need to start calling it what week it is. So I could say week 1 meal plan for me. Maybe I want to create 2 months worth of meal plans and then just continue to rotate through them so I don't have to keep doing this each time. This will let me save it that way. So if I want to name that one week 1, that's great. And so then the next week I could build week 2. And it gives me another blank slate. But here's another cool thing you can do. You can duplicate what you just did because you spent all that time setting things up. Let's duplicate it. And I'm going to call that one week 3 meal plan. So again, to go over what I did, I just clicked that double page button right there. If you guys see it. And it created me another one with the same 6 recipes. So I can go in and edit this now. I got to stop editing and I'll go into week 3 and it's got all the stuff from week 1. It's keeping week 1 the way I need it. But let's say, okay, we don't need to have pepper jack casserole again. What am I going to do? How do I get it off of here to clean this up? Well, I go to remove items and I'll keep the freezer burritos there because we're going to do that. And I'll keep the go out to eat because we usually do that every Sunday. But I'm going to take off the things that we normally wouldn't do by hitting that little trash can. And all of a sudden, I've got the note about karate, and that's not going to change. I've got, and I can take off all the things that will change. And now I have a template that I can work with to have every week. Another cool thing is you could get it set up completely blank like this and go to your collections and then rename this one. Oops, sorry. Go back to your collections. We're going to edit collections to edit the name, and we're going to call this meal plan template. And so then I can just copy this template each time I want to start a new meal plan. And all I do to do that is I go to edit collections and I copy my meal plan template, and then I can call it whatever week I'm on. So week 3 meal plan. And when I go in there, I got to stop editing again. Let me show you. Got to stop editing. And then when I go into my meal plan, it's all blank and ready for me to get set up. So there's so many ways you can use this. If you have any questions, please email me at cris@recipes@crock.com. And I will try to answer your questions. And if I get a lot of the same questions, then I'll try and record more videos to help you guys. But I hope you guys have found this useful. Definitely let me know how you are using your recipe box. I can't wait to hear. Thanks, guys. Well, I hope you guys found that tutorial helpful. Again, if you have any questions, let me know at cris@recipes@crock.com, and we will see what we can do to help you. I would love to hear how you guys are using Recipe Box and if you guys find it helpful. Thanks, guys. Bye. Quick note from Editing Cris here. If you would like a template already made for you for either the simple meal planning or the expanded meal planning options, the 2 things we show you in this video, I am putting a link to the blog post down below, and I have been able to create you guys templates where you can already have it all set up for you. You just save it to your recipe box, and when you want to use it, just duplicate it. And when you duplicate it, then you can edit it, and then you'll have the template already set up for you, so you don't have to do all the steps yourself. So that's just a quick way. I think it's fun to learn how to do all those things, so then when you want to do other kinds of lists and collections, it makes a lot of sense. But if you just want to go straight to meal planning, I've been able to figure out a way to make you guys templates that you guys can access. So see the link down below, and in that blog post there will be sections that will show you where all those templates are. So enjoy!
If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on the right, my dear. And if you think we're funny enough to send us money, click the Patreon